Hi, Jen Engel here again with my Rainbows and Stories for Children Book 2. Boxwood Squirrel in Double Trouble. Boxwood sat in his little tree trying to think of something to do. He was bored. He didn't. He hadn't seen any of his friends for days. He was not happy. I'll go for a walk, he said as he scampered down the tree and down the little road. He walked along the roadside, stopping often to pick up things and look them over. The rocks would look great in his collection. Suddenly he heard voices coming from over the hill. Oh no, he thought to himself, looks like the bully fur gang. Boxwood tried to find somewhere to hide, as he had heard of them and didn't want any trouble. We saw you there, they all said as they laughed. Yeah, you may as well come out from under that bush, or we might have to just come and get you, the squirrel said. What do you mean? What do you want from me? Boxwood asked as he stuck his head out. We just want to hang around with you today, Boxwood, a squirrel replied, smiling. Everybody knows your name. You're supposed to be the best squirrel around, they said. Let's all go swiping, the head squirrel said. He was bigger than all the other squirrels. What's that? Boxwood asked. He suddenly felt important. Wow, they want to be buddies, he thought. Come on, we'll show you. It's a game we play. Down the road they all went, scurrying happily. They came upon a huge garden. Now this is what we're doing today, said the leader, Tommy. You stand at one end of the garden and keep watch. Boxwood Squirrel and I will walk the rows together what we can. But Jack, what if old J.D. comes out? Bobby asked. Then everybody runs. He can't catch us anyway. Everyone was in a position to start as they opened their bags to put the veggies in. In went the carrots, the celery, the bell peppers, and the peas, and the Brussels. Once in a while, they would all stop to take a bite. Okay, let's split, the leader said, as they all scampered quickly to the gang's hideout. It was a little opening to the small dugout beneath the big old tree. Ha, 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 they all laughed as they poured out the veggies on the ground so they could split it up between themselves. This is better than working all spring gathering nuts for the winter, Boxwood said. Later on that day, Mr. J.D. went out to his garden to gather some veggies. Just as he looked down, he noticed the damage in his garden. His face turned beet red, and he yelled at the top of his voice, I'll wring your little necks if I catch you. He was so loud that everyone in the country could hear him yelling. Well, I'm going to go home, Boxwood said, and he picked up his share and started to go. Whatever, Boxwood, we are going to get fruit and nuts at Mr. Riley's, he said. He has berries, too. I will stay here and watch until you come back, Boxwood said. Boxwood had that feeling in his tummy that made him feel real sick. It always happened when something was not right. Yeah, right. I don't think so. You're coming with us, the other squirrel said. They all started down the road towards Mr. Riley's farm, and they all started filling their bags with fruit and nuts and berries. Get out, a man yelled as he came running out of his house. He fired a shot up in the air. His dogs barked loudly. He is shooting at us, cried Boxwood. Everyone scattered quickly. Boxwood ran as fast as he could to his little tree house. His heart pitter-pattered in his chest. He was very scared. Soon the fur gang was all locked up and being sent to a camp for stingy little lazy squirrels. Boxwood felt so bad and guilty knowing he had been involved and was not caught. I need to tell you something, Sally, he said to his friend. The fur gang that was sent off, well, I knew them. In fact, I went with them one day, and they did awful things. I didn't want to go, but they seemed okay at first, and I felt important to them. What do I do? He asked sadly. I think you have to do the right thing, Boxwood. Go to the sheriff and confess to him everything you know. I am afraid, Sally, he cried. I will go with you, Boxwood. No matter what happens, we'll be waiting for you here, and I will wait forever if I have to. Sally and Boxwood went to the sheriff and told his story to him. Boy, I sure hope you've learned something from all of this, the sheriff said. Yes, sir, Sheriff, he said. Just don't you forget, and as a reminder, I'm putting you on community service. You will report here once a week until your debt has been paid off. Yes, sir, Sheriff, I will be here, Boxwood said. Good, be here every Monday at 11 a.m. for work. Now, if you don't show up, I will find you and you will be sent to share time with the others at the boys' camp. I will show up, Sheriff. I don't want to go to camp. Boxwood was very lucky this time, for he had never been in trouble before. He had a chance to make good on his crime. I will never do that again, only in my own yard, he said. Somehow he felt much better in his tummy for telling the truth. Even if he had to do community service, he knew it would be helping others while paying his debts to society. At home on his little bed, he lay thinking to himself. Suddenly, working for stuff seemed better than stealing. I will never steal again. Off to sleep he went to rest for another day. And we have another chapter another time. What do you think?